You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Ian Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Deception After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Deception After Show.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, AfterBuzzers. Bing is for doing, and this evening we are doing NBC's first season of Deception, 9th episode. Good luck with your death, Senator Haverstock, you punk, you evil, maniacal, diabolical guy. I'm your host, Thaddeus Massey. To the left of me is
Megan Thomas. How are you? And I'm Amber J.
And I'm Bam Erickson.
Bam, Amber, and Megan. 2 episodes left.
Yes.
2 episodes in this first season. And I know you guys that are out there watching in NBC land are like begging and hoping and praying that they greenlight a second season.
I think they will.
For the show. I think they will. I think they might.
so.
I think they may. We'll see what happens.
It's gotten really good.
It's gotten really. It's actually ramped up every episode this season. So let's just jump right into it.
Let's go.
Starting off with, where do you want to start, Megan?
I guess I'm going to start at the biggest part of this entire episode, and that was Joanna getting in the midst of a lot of crap and almost getting caught up this time yet again, but now
it's thick for her.
It's almost coming to an end.
Yes,
it is.
Because Joanna, I feel like Joanna should be way more savvy than she is, but maybe it's just because the circumstances are just like getting really overwhelming based on everything that's going on. So it's kind of like,
No, you're right.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So
I think
it's a hairy situation.
all of the mistakes.
No pun
and things,
intended.
all the mistakes and things that she was doing, I felt was kind of silly. How she didn't, when she went over to Ben's sister's house, like why would she not think the way that Robert drilled her was like that was a huge clue to let her know that like he knows something's going on. But
Right.
well,
Yeah, like she should have been smart enough to say, okay, so if she can text to Will and say, I think Robert's on to me, then she should be able to go, okay, if he's on to me, he's probably watching everything that I do.
Right.
And the fact that she walks up to him and what did she say? She's like, I need a root canal. So I forgot to tell you, but I'm going to go get a root canal.
Yeah, and I'll be out for the rest of the
Don't
afternoon.
people hurt when they get a root
With a
canal?
little smile on her face.
Absolutely. Aren't you like in pain? It's like, oh, I need a root canal. It hurts so bad. And she's just like talking normally.
And it wasn't any like, I gotta get a root canal. I'm gonna be out for the rest of the afternoon. I can't. He was like, I'm gonna be out for the root canal. Smiling. Ding. Go get commercial.
I don't know if it's like the writers or something, but like it's just so obvious. It's like obvious stuff, and you're just like, be smarter than that. You're a police officer. You're going undercover right now, and she's just blowing her cover. So it just, that was the part of the episode, or the episodes like last couple ones that have been really annoying me. She's just like, it's like she wants to get caught.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't.
Well, I think she's so used to giving out like flagrant lies, and she's just telling them whatever she wants to tell them. At this point, it's kind of like wait, does he kind of know that?
She should always assume that he knows.
That's what she's gotten comfortable, because she's just so caught up in the investigation that she's got caught up with just comfortable just telling them whatever and going on and doing her business. That's why she was like, oh, I gotta go see the dentist. Root canal.
And then when he calls her into his office and he's like, hey, Joanna, just some HR stuff. We didn't go over your interview. There's some questions. So he asks her about previous work history, and then he asks her about her marriage, which I think that is something she should have remembered. Like, that should be, like, you should be able to spit that out quickly. What day did you get married? How long have y'all been married? What year did you get married? It doesn't matter how flustered you are. That's part of her alibi as a cop. She should have that airtight.
Yeah,
like,
don't
no
forget the
stuttering.
date. Well, no girl forgets that.
Well, she had. I thought she did a great job as far as covering her tracks for the history of how many of where she worked and things like that.
Yeah,
but
that I think that part she was okay with.
I felt like she fumbled. She fumbled the rock.
She didn't fumble
That's
that
what
part.
they say in
She
football.
didn't fumble until like got to her husband's story.
No, it was like it was rehearsed. Even how she was spitting off where she had worked before, it seemed like it was rehearsed for somebody who was paying attention to how she was answering these questions. It really wasn't what she was saying. It was really more how she was responding. It was more rehearsed. And then when he went into further detail about her background, she started getting like, okay. It's
But
like,
that's what I'm saying. That was more important than the work history, I think. Like, that's something, and he makes that comment. He says to her that, men are typically the one that forget dates, but I remember my anniversary. And then she realizes, oh, it was
December 21st, 8 years.
4 days before Christmas.
Yes, like I'm like, girl, he knows. Come on now.
He knows a lot. Like, I just feel like the way he looks at her now is just kind of like, you're lying. Like, you know what I mean? And you should just be doing better. Like, you should have talked about this. She's too busy gallivanting around.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out who she's gonna love. If I'm gonna love Julian or if I'm gonna love Will, what am I gonna do?
Right, like you're there for a case. I mean, I would go with.
But also, she should have recognized change by the way that he was treating her at work. Go get my breakfast, then go order, go make an appointment for my massage. Those are not things that we've seen him do in past episodes.
It was more of the manner and how he was doing it. He was very stern with her, or compared to like past
But
episodes.
it also hasn't shown her and him interacting a lot. You know what I mean? It shows them, but it doesn't show like what they do for 8 hours.
But I think that's typical. I think he would typically ask her stuff like that.
Yeah,
like she said,
booking.
what do you want the usual breakfast? So that means she's been getting him breakfast to begin with. And I think like him asking her to make him a massage, she automatically knew who to call. So I'm assuming he probably asked her that before.
Right, and she is an assistant. She's not
now
like
you can go get my usual breakfast.
It
was the way he was saying. His tone with everything was like very like impersonal.
But he's on edge, like.
No, he's been on edge this whole time because of stuff.
Saying.
It seems like she's been like his only like. Okay, enough with that. I can talk to Joanna for 30 seconds and everything is cool. You know what I'm saying? Type of thing. But now it's like.
She lost that money.
Oh, man, this broad, she's a part of this whole drama. Like, you know what? I'm about to start cutting everybody's head off. That's what he's gone to that.
And then it makes it worse when he's in the meeting and they tell him that the only people that have been into the IT room, which I guess is where the files were pulled off the server, was the IT team, Edward and Robert. And he's like, I've never been, I don't even know where that room is. So immediately he's like,
who knows the password?
Who has my badge?
Right.
Who has access to my badge?
Because it was ironic, well, he felt it was ironic that time when she was digging, when he couldn't find it, and then she came in and she's like, oh, here it is, and she didn't even take the time to like be trying to like dig in a drawer or anything. She's like, oh, it's right here. And so that was, he knew something was up or had a clue.
Right. A little bit of an inkling.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Right, of what was occurring right there. Let's talk about Will a little bit and his interaction with Edward, because it seems as if they've become
buddies.
Amigos.
a dynamic duo, so to speak, with them trying to get information and gather information of what's going on.
I feel like they're like super tight. Like they could go hang out now. Like after this is all over, they'll like go.
They do have like this
shoot
weird
hoops or something.
right. They have like this weird type of. They developed this weird relationship.
I like it.
This weird working relationship. Yeah.
I like how it shows Edward like starting to open up a little bit more, and like how. I just like his character. Like I told you, like he's been growing on me like the entire season. So like I like his character. I like how he is with Will. Like, you know, he actually wants to find out, and it shows how much like he's cared about his sister.
Right.
And like how much he's not so much like the other Bowers. So I mean, him and Will, I think something deadly's gonna come of it. I don't think it's gonna be a positive ending, but so far right now, I think them talking to each other, I think it's helping it's helping us, the viewer, and helping them, you know, find out who killed Vivian.
And I also like how Will is like looking out for him like he's a friend. Like he advises him on certain things. And just the way that he speaks to him not like he's a cop. He speaks to him like they're homeboys.
He's acting. That's all to get what he wants. I think
he
because
actually cares about him.
Yeah.
I don't think he does.
Because Will
I
has a
think-
heart.
I'm gonna jump on the
Will-
girl side with
Will's-
this one.
The only part of this
Damn.
investigation that has to do with Will's heart is Joanna, and everything that has to do with this family, he finds reprehensible. He can't. Is that a word? Reprehensible. He just can't stand them at all. He doesn't like anything about the Bowers whatsoever.
But
yeah.
Edward's different. He's on the
He's
other
different. Yes, he's different. No, he's not.
Yes, no,
because
but
he
I
could
think
not stand Edward from the beginning, and now he's just using him to get what he needs for his investigation. Everything that the Bowers represents is threatening his and jeopardizing his future with Joanna. He cannot stand these people. He doesn't like
I mean,
them.
I think you're right to a certain extent, but at the same time, I think Edward is starting to grow on him, and that's the reason why he's cooler with him. Because look, if you look at him and Nicole really, the reporter girl back a
Who's
few
annoying.
episodes, yeah, nosy
She was
Nosy
there. She was there this episode, right?
Yeah,
She
brief
was
second.
there.
Nosy Nicole, he calls her a friend. Like, why are you calling her a friend? I think he really does have a heart, and he genuinely is a good person. I think now that he's seen that it wasn't Edward, and that Edward is really trying to help find who killed his sister, I think he actually was like, okay, I could probably like you as a person.
I mean, you have those people that you hate until you get to know them, like, or at least I have in the past.
I mean, let's not forget the whole Kimberly Yeager thing. So that's the kind of thing when.
We don't have to forget it, but I mean, you also.
But that's something that a cop is not going to forget. An
There you go,
FBI agent,
again.
they're not
but
going to forget
you know
that.
You know how like you think someone's all terrible, and you get to know them, and you're like, I mean, as a girl, you're like, oh, I guess he's not so bad,
Yeah.
So it's kind of like. You see what I'm saying, Bam? You see what I'm
Ladies.
saying?
Speaking from experience, Amber?
Yes, I am.
He's not that bad.
So I think it's like that. I think that, yeah, he's there for a reason, but I really do think they are friends. Like, I think they're becoming friends.
That's
and
a strong word.
They really are. Associates?
Well,
Well, they are associating.
Oh my gosh, that is.
Bam's light bulb went off.
Go
What
ahead,
happened?
Bam.
well, speaking of friends, you guys can always tell a friend about iTunes. So you guys make sure you guys go to iTunes, subscribe, and download. It's free. And subscribe. Keep us or get us back into the top 10 at AfterBuzz TV. iTunes, download, rate, comment, tell a friend.
Straight up.
Yeah.
So but Edward, he gets a little bit of information. It looks like the test results may have been doctored, and he goes over to Julian's house.
How does he find that out, though?
How did he find that out?
Because when he went to Julian's house, that's when he found out that they might have been doctored. Because he
That's
talks to
right.
Audrey, and Audrey's like, oh, your brother's doing as well as he possibly can, especially with those kids getting killed.
Right.
He's like, how do you know about those kids?
Yeah, did I mention that?
She's like, must have
somebody
read about
must have. It must have been leaked. No, I didn't do. No,
Oh, Julian told me.
it was. No, I didn't tell her. Oh, wait, no, it was Julian.
Are y'all
Oh.
gonna, how long are you going to do this? Like, we got it.
So then Julian comes out, and then she's like, "Yo, so you told her about the?" He's like, "No, I didn't." The test results.
We apologize, guys. They're actors.
So basically, we found out that that Audrey is up to no good. But you know what's really weird to me? As suspicious and paranoid as Edward is,
How come he went on her?
he wasn't like suspicious or paranoid about the fact that he just caught her in a blatant lie. Because he asked Julian.
No,
Because he doesn't know
Well, not
that
what
she's
he was
lying
just like-
until
what
he
he-
asks his brother, did you tell her about the kids? And he's like, no, I don't even want to face that. Why would I tell her? And that's when he's like, I got to go. And Julian's like, but
he
you just
seemed
got
confused.
here.
He was like, "Oh, that doesn't make any." Because he said that doesn't make any sense, and he's like, and he's like, what?
I mean, because it
he
just
was
happened.
confused. Like,
What do you think? He's going to automatically
like,
be like,
dude.
heifer, like, what is he going to do?
no. I'm gonna jump on your side, Megan. No, he was. I wouldn't say concerned, but no, he definitely had his
he was concerned.
Yeah.
He was concerned, but like in a hello,
I don't know because
like hello, dude.
I don't agree with you.
Because
But he had to ask
He didn't like
first,
put
that
something.
is.
Yeah, but he did
Yes,
ask, and then he found out
No,
that.
then he left immediately because
Right,
he came there to
he
talk to his
ran.
brother about stuff. And then when
He
he found
did.
that out, when his brother told him, I
Yes.
never told her that. He doesn't even ask his brother. He doesn't even tell his brother because Audrey just told me about the kids. He immediately leaves, and his brother's like, "Where are you going? You just got here." Yeah, like, I got something to handle.
But he looked confused. Is what I'm saying.
Well,
Because wouldn't you be confused?
Oh, come on, Thaddeus. Digress from it. Let
you're
it go.
trying to figure out
You know
how
he
she
was-
knows
As
about these
all the
kids.
crazy conspiratorial stuff is going on, I'm be like, okay, something's going on with this broad right here.
But that's why he had the confused face, because it's
Yes,
like,
and
Audrey, like,
and he
you know
goes
what I mean?
immediately to see Will. right then he's like going to the office. Will, Morena, where are you? Because
Will, his friend.
yes.
Okay, I'll give them a pass on this one for Edward, since he's distraught. His family's in California and he's an alcoholic.
We win.
High five.
Well, I said a pass. I didn't say you guys win.
We win.
Whatever. Girls rule.
We never get to win in here. So
Okay, so let's talk about this little snake in the grass, Audrey, since she came up.
Yes.
She's annoying on a few different levels. Go ahead, Bam.
She's annoying, but she really showed her ass in this episode.
She really did.
oh, just go.
And not literally, thank God. But go ahead and explain how she did that.
When
Or at least give us one example of how she did.
one example would be when Joanna's character, when Joanna came to go see Julian, and when she gets there, Audrey goes and she questions her. I have my notes. Hold on. Sorry.
No, yeah, you're right. What she says to her, basically, you dropped the ball with Julian,
Thank
and
you.
I picked it up, so play fair.
Yeah.
Like, there's no fairness in love and war.
Now, see, if she would have been a basketball wife, she would have said, I didn't want him. If I wanted him, I could have had him already. So you ain't got nothing to worry about. That's what would have happened if she was a
Is that what she would have said? Okay, so back to Audrey.
Or she would have smacked her. Or throw a glass at her.
But I think it's because if you remember when she's talking to her boss at the diner that Edward walks into, remember she's telling him that she really does actually like Julian.
Right.
So it's kind of like, so you set this whole thing up, and now you're falling for the same guy that you
Played
pretty
you.
much tried to take down.
Now Joanna's becoming annoying. That was, yeah, I'm like, okay, where's the angle with this?
So
Like,
Audrey's
for the
annoying and
investigation.
Joanna?
You don't like anybody.
For different reasons. No, Joanna's not annoying. That was annoying. Not in general. Audrey's annoying in general. She's
Like
just,
her character, is that what you're trying to say? That she
Ye-
has an annoying character?
Yes. Well, I don't know the actress personally, so yeah. I have
But
to-
she did
I just didn't
somewhat.
think she was that annoying. I don't know.
Well, she somewhat annoyed me with that
because she's
whole-
incompetent.
with
Like
the whole plane.
she's like directed Frank for this whole like little thing she's trying to do with as far as Little is concerned, but she's at the same time trying to get Julian back in the saddle
But I
with
don't think
her
she
at
bangs
the
on
same
She's such a
time.
non-factor because I feel like she's going to be exposed. I think she's one of those characters that comes in just to get killed off.
Something, yeah. She's
Like, you
not
know,
gonna
like
last.
she's just not gonna last. Like, who cares? Like Bam said, so what? Who cares? Like, she's just not.
Like Bam says.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Who cares?
So what? Who cares?
The last two episodes. We'll see if she gets killed off the last two episodes. We got two
I
more
hope she gets
episodes
killed
to
off
go.
next
I
week.
think she is. And you know what? And I think the best part of that exchange.
Cold-blooded. I don't think she's gonna get killed. I'd rather she get dumped instead of
Something's gonna
get
happen.
killed.
No, something's gonna have to happen. to her
Joanna
because
is
she's
going
in
back
the-
for her man Julian. Like, she's already
Yes.
dumped. Like,
Yeah,
she is
she's-
going to
she's
get her
done.
man. Like,
But she-
checkmate.
Yeah, but I
trying.
think she'll get revenge later.
Yeah,
at
and
least.
I think the biggest part of the exchange between Joanna and Audrey was the fact that Joanna was like, "Oh, I didn't see you at Ben Presswick's funeral," and then of course she has to act like she doesn't know Ben.
Who's been Presswick? Who's been Presswick?
But she does know who Ben is because they spent like a summer in Honduras together.
They were in like the same
They were
program.
the same class
they
in
went to
Cornell.
school. Yeah, they went to
No,
the
they
same
went to
school.
Cornell University,
Okay.
graduated class of 2001.
Okay, I just want to say this really
my
quick.
bad. Look at y'all.
I said last week in predictions that I thought Audrey had something to do with this.
You did.
You did.
See it again. I need to start asking for money. This is 2-3 weeks in a row.
I was not here to hear that prediction, so it is null and
I'm gonna
void.
take you to Vegas. That's what I'm gonna
Null
do.
and void.
Take you to Vegas, and then we can make some money.
Right. Do you know anything
But
about
yes.
roulette? Do you know anything about roulette?
But yeah, I think Audrey is actually starting to slip, and she's starting to feel it because when her boss, what's his name, Frank Drexler. Yeah, when
Yeah.
Frank Drexler talks to her and they're having dinner and Edward walks in and is like, "I don't like you. Don't talk to me." to
was
Audrey.
hilarious.
That
Funny.
was funny. And then she is clearly, visibly shaken because he tells her like, "You came up with this plan and you told me it was going to be fine. Is there any reason that it's going to mess up the merger?" So apparently,
And Edward looked at Frank and said, "There's something fishy's going on. I'm gonna find out about it."
exactly. So I
Like,
guess that's the whole
I know
reason.
you got her up to something. She's like you said, a non-factor, basically. So he's just ignored her, like, shut up.
I don't like you.
Like, you're nobody. Let me deal with the boss type of thing. So now his palms are sweating like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
You better, if there's a leak sprung, you better find it and fix it, basically, is what Frank told Audrey. So now she's really sweating.
Because I guess that's the whole reason why they came up with this whole ploy about Leotrol killing people was because I guess Kirshner Sims, which is the competitor, wants to buy Bauer's pharmaceutical.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's crazy.
That would make sense for them from
Yeah,
a business side
now.
for them to be able to acquire or have more leverage with the company if it's not worth as much. So
Yeah.
they would have to like sabotage something that they were working on that was supposed to be a
But
big
how
deal.
crazy is it that Vivian got killed? Isn't that crazy?
We're
So
still
what do
not
you
down to
think
the
that-
bottom of it, though. I
So
mean,
what do you think
yes.
happened then? So then she told Ben, like, hey, I guess last week, remember when we saw them at the bar, Audrey and Ben were at the bar together, and she's like, she was saying, oh, that family's no good. He's like, Vivian's different. And then she's like, well, maybe I have a way to get you in good, like, with them. Do you think that she, like, gave him these doctored files to put on the server? And then
That's a good
he was trying to get them
possibility.
pulled off when he went in there, when
I
Joanna
didn't
caught
think
him.
about that.
That's a good possibility because at the end of the day, they were saying that Vivian was supposed to be the one they were using as a pawn to bring down the empire.
Yeah.
So maybe Ben was trying to correct his wrongdoing.
Maybe
when he
Ben
went.
really didn't love Vivian at all.
Maybe.
Like, maybe he's a part of this big vicious plot. I'm such a conspiracy theorist. But, maybe he didn't, he just did that. He wasn't different, like men play the game very well.
I don't know, but maybe he really did love her. And he
I think
didn't want. He
that's what
eventually
I
started
think.
to love her, and he didn't want.
I think he switched up.
He didn't think she was gonna die for it.
So you think he came in dirty, then cleaned it up?
Yeah, I think he was just.
possibly.
I think he just
That makes
wanted
sense.
to tell her like, oh, now that I'm with Vivian, hey, guess what? This drug is gonna kill people. You should tell your father so that they'll pull the drug, and then of course Kirshner Sims will get the money because they have the similar
Right.
drug. I think that's all that was supposed to happen.
Right. It wasn't supposed to be a
But-
death game.
So then why did Vivian die?
Because of the money. I mean, you're looking at $1 billion.
Because it's big business,
like
and they were playing a
pharmaceuticals.
game that they were like it was way
And
over
so,
their
I
head.
mean,
They were just
like,
being used.
If he's willing to let his daughter, no offense, like he's just done Vivian so wrong. Like you're willing to let your daughter sacrifice, being raped and everything for your son. Like you'd absolutely let her die, especially if she was a problem child.
So you think that Robert was the one that?
I think Robert has a lot to do with it.
I wouldn't say
don't think
Robert.
anymore.
I think Robert in that situation was just caught between a rock and a hard place. The situation he's trying to.
Okay, so think about
His
your company.
family's in a very
your
vulnerable
company about to
situation.
fall, and your daughter being the reason that your company's about to fall.
Well, it was really more about keeping Edward from going to jail about the whole.
I know I'm talking about this
Everything.
time with Vivian's situation. Think about your company and your daughter.
But they said
At
that.
this,
but hold
at
on.
this point, Vivian's already dead.
I know, I'm just
But
saying
it's-
beforehand.
But I'm saying I thought Audrey was the one that killed her because we find out at the end of this episode that Audrey has the phone that the payphone the Russians called.
Right.
From the bakery.
So yeah, the Russians are the killers, and they called. I guess she contacted them with her
So
cell
you
phone.
guys don't think Robert has anything to do with
I
this?
don't know. I don't know anymore. I need help.
Man, we got 2 episodes to find out. If you guys have any theories or anything, you guys can call in 424-256-1729, 424-256-1729. Even if you guys want to be like, all y'all is wrong. You guys need to, this is what's going on. You guys can just call in and tell us that. It's no problem. We can hash it out.
I know, but I need to relax, and I need to relax. And how I relax, I think what I'm going to do this Friday, March the 8th, is go see Adventures of Serial Buddies.
Serial Buddies.
Yes, it is produced by our AfterBuzz TV founders, Maria Menounos and Kevin Undergaro. It features an all-star cast from Beth Bears, Artie Lang, Kathy Lee Gifford, Maria Menounos, Christopher Lloyd, Christopher McDonald, and the voice of Henry Winkler. So it's kind of like Dexter meets Dumb and Dumber. It's very hilarious. And
Funny.
if you're in New York, LA, Boston, Chicago, San Francisco, you will be able to see the movie this Friday. Just make sure you go to the website, adventuresofserialbuddies.com, and get your tickets.
Tell your friends too.
Tell your friends.
Get everyone to go see it. It's a really good movie.
SerialBuddies.com. And our very own John Comerford is in the film as well. He's actually a co-host of mine on Homeland and House of Cards. He's a funny guy. He's on there as well. I can't wait to.
And Bam saw it, so everybody do what Bam did.
Yeah,
Go
Bam.
see it.
I did. I saw
Bam, bam, bam,
early
bam,
screening
bam.
of it.
What is that? What are you doing?
Bam, 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 bam.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
so let's talk about Mia
Oh my goodness. What
and this Haverstock situation. So Mia is getting her bone marrow checked
Yes, she's
with
getting
Kyle.
Yeah.
Like, go be a good boyfriend. Go hold Mia's hand. Wow. Haverstock's in there got the nerve to give somebody advice about how to be a good boyfriend, which was really hilarious. That was a hilarious line. Hey, writers, I caught that. Whoever wrote that line in there.
I still find it hard to believe that he needs a bone transplant. There's just something about, I just don't believe it. I don't think he's sick. I don't think he's dying.
He has cancer, Bam.
I don't believe it.
Oh, Lord.
So that, and then also Nicole,
He has
well, nosy
leukemia.
Nicole found out as well. So it's kind of.
You think this is like a side plot for him to try to do something? It's like something else going on.
But I think he really does have leukemia, though.
I don't.
You know what? I said that last week, didn't I? I didn't think he had leukemia. I thought it was kind of.
So why
Both
would
of you
somebody
guys said that you didn't think he
pretend
had
that they
it.
had
That's what I'm saying.
leukemia and
Who
have someone go
wants
get a bone? Do you know how hard?
Yeah.
You know how
It's to
painful
distract
that is?
away from the fact that he's the one that had Vivian killed, which we'll find out in the next episodes.
He
Well,
did not have Vivian.
I don't have any logic to my reasons, but his character, he's a snake, and maybe
And that's why he has leukemia, because
It's karma.
haters never prosper. I'm just
Haters never prosper.
But I think that this episode we see a different side of him, because I feel like, you know, when Mia asks the doctor how long he has to live, he says 6 months, right?
Give or take,
So
yeah.
I think he
Oh,
is
for
trying
6
to.
months, I'm not giving anybody any sort of bone marrow. Just let them die.
But I mean, if you can
That
be
could save him,
healed,
though.
yeah, from
6
dying.
months. 6 months is like deadly. If they had like
That's
2
quick.
years, that's one thing. But
But
like,
I mean, I think okay.
Well,
I
the
don't know how
doctor said
logic-
he
yeah,
get a
he said
transplant. They can.
he'd be fine.
He'd be fine.
okay, let me ask y'all this: in Mia's situation, would you even consider giving this?
bio dad.
Yeah,
Yes.
your bone marrow.
I would consider it.
I would unequivocally say yes. I would.
I would be like,
You're a good
no.
You're a good bio daughter.
You first of all, you raped my mother.
Well, technically,
Technically, they were together. She was just a minor.
She was just a
It was
minor,
statutory rape,
and they
not
were in love.
other rape.
They were not in love. She
They
was
were
so
in-
upset that night.
For those who can't see me, it's in quotes. I put in
No,
quotes.
I just don't.
They're in love.
There's no way you would ever get my bone. Like, I was happy that Robert, was trying to stop it. Like, that makes, maybe his intentions were not.
His intentions were to double cross him to begin with.
Yeah,
He
that's
got the
fine.
golf club. You know what's gonna be really funny? It'd be really funny if that's not the real golf club.
That would be fun.
And that's
about
what
that.
I thought that's what he was gonna say. Like, haha. Well, just so you know, since you tried to double cross me, I thought of that, and I gave you a fake golf club.
So I was gonna wait till the surgery was over and had the procedure. Then I was gonna give you the real one anyway.
Right.
I mean,
I wouldn't be
that's
surprised if they did that in the next 2 episodes.
me
Yeah.
either. Hey, we should be
Yeah.
writers, y'all.
We
'cause
should.
We could really write a show.
Hey, NBC, hit us up. Hit us
Let
up
us know.
on Twitter. All
I
four of
am
us.
free and available Monday through Friday to write.
But no, I mean, I
But
think
that
this,
might happen.
But I think this episode you see a softer side of him, because he really looked kind of sad when he found out he was double crossed. Like, wow, I
not sad. That's a salty
but
face. There's a
But that's
difference
what I'm
between
saying.
sad and
I felt like he kind of wanted to do something on the up and up. That's why he gives him the club when he technically didn't have to. And because he knows he's about to die, and when people are facing death, they sometimes have a change of heart.
This guy
But they don't even
is
think he's facing
no
death.
good. He's no good. This guy is no good.
True, but I'm just saying, I believe there's hope.
I didn't see sadness. I saw like, okay, damn, I've been
Deception.
got. Yeah, I've been
That's what I
deceived.
saw.
Yeah, that's exactly what I felt. When someone does things to people for a long period of time, and then you finally get it back to you, I felt like that was his reaction. Not, oh, I'm sad because I'm gonna die soon.
Right.
This is my opinion.
Right. And I liked how Kyle came in and he was like, you know what? I've had about enough of you. And pretty much went in there and told Mia what was what.
That
He
was
loves
big.
her. I think he loves
Yeah.
her.
But let's not
Stop rolling your
forget. Let's not forget. Yes, Haverstock did pull him, and when he was about to give Rusty, he did pull him and make that agreement. But Kyle made an agreement on episode 1 or 2 when he was on the phone when he pried after me in the first place. So as much as you think that Kyle's a good guy, he still got skeletons in his closet. Let's keep it real.
I can agree with you on that, Bam. High five on that. Boom.
Boom.
I mean, they all got
But everybody has a past.
yeah,
except for
but
Mia. Mia's like the main victim out of this whole
Well,
scenario.
yes, but she has a past too. Like she's coming with baggage. That's her past. Yeah.
but I'm just saying that he had ulterior motives before he was
Before
proper.
he met Haverstock, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree
Okay.
with you.
That's
I
true.
will
And that
say
hasn't come out yet either.
it has not.
And I don't like how they kind of left. That's like a hole. And
They're gonna fill
hopefully
the hole. They're gonna fill the hole.
maybe next
2
week or the
episodes.
next 2 episodes.
2
they'll-
episodes to fill this.
to fill the Kyle void so we can
Yes.
see what's going on with Kyle and what his his issue is or what situation is.
I thought that was really big of him to actually, because he had, according to him, he had a lot to lose.
Right.
The fact that he took a minor across state lines, he said he had some drug issues in the past. So the fact that he's like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to go to jail, and I'm going to tell you the truth. Don't give your bone marrow to this douchebag. Just forget it and get out of here.
Right.
And also in the process, he ruins his relationship with her.
Right.
Because now she's like, everybody lies to me. Everyone lies.
But what I do like is how Mia, through all of this, she's always able to run back to Sophia, and Sophia always embraces her.
Because Sophia's her mommy and she loves her.
Yeah. But
Okay.
but earlier when they were at the dinner table or the breakfast table, when Mia asked, "So you didn't kill Vivian?"
To Robert.
Robert said, "It breaks my heart that you even ask."
Right.
When you don't,
He never gives a straight answer ever. Even when everyone was asking him, "Did I kill that girl?" Look, you've come a long way since.
Exactly.
He never says yes or no.
He never answers. If I say, and I'm just doing this only because I know, if I say, "Hey, is that your natural hair color?" and then you give me some bogus answer, it's either yes
Why
or no.
would it not be?
Right.
Like that's a bogus answer?
Yeah.
What do you define as natural?
Because I did buy it in the box.
It is
Hold on.
mine.
It's mine,
I do have the receipt.
Hold on, it's
Oh
mine
yeah, I
forever.
forgot. Yeah,
It's mine
Asians have
forever.
that dark hair.
But my point is, Robert never can answer the question, so that still
Right.
leads in the back of my mind that he had Vivian killed.
That's what I said.
It does. It is.
Remember that in 2 episodes, Amber said it. It was Robert.
It is starting to seem like that. Now let's talk about this whole Mia actually giving the bone marrow. She had to get permission from Sophia, or she had to get permission from her dad. Her dad was like never
Parents,
gonna
one of her parents.
get one of her parents. Robert was never gonna do it to begin with.
Yeah.
So Haverstock's like, okay, cool. I know what cards I can play over here on the other side. So he meets up with Sophia, on the bridge or whatever, wherever they're at, and lets her know, it's like, look, if you don't sign this, Wyatt's parole hearing is gonna get moved up to Saturday.
Your anniversary.
Straight up. And I don't think you want to deal with that exactly on the anniversary. So she's like,
So yeah.
well,
Like she's got to do it. So
She's gotta do
that's
it.
why she signs the release form to let Mia do that. But then when Mia comes crying home, like, I didn't do it. I didn't go through with it. She knew then she also had some cards she had to pull, and that was to go get her freak on with Wyatt and slip drugs in his pocket so he could not get paroled.
I mean, the thing about that is Haverstock is definitely one of those kind of guys, because obviously it wasn't Sophia that didn't follow through, because if she didn't want to do it, she obviously wouldn't have signed the consent form. It was obviously Kyle, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But Haverstock is the kind of guy that if everything doesn't go his way, everybody's going to suffer.
Right. I don't think that those drugs are going to do much. You know what I mean? Like,
all it did was
It's going to prolong his
yeah, but I
parole,
mean,
which is what she
he's
needs.
the senator?
Very true, but Kyle would not be, not Kyle, I'm sorry, but Wyatt would not be able to be released that Saturday.
Okay,
he could be released maybe 2 weeks from now, but
No,
he could
not with those drugs in his pocket.
I'm just saying that.
I just feel like when you got the senator behind you, like that's like having Obama, like, all right, take him out the chair, like release him.
He does have the senator, but he just couldn't be. He would at least have to. It'd at least be another week.
Yeah,
so
like
he
it was a short-term fix. Yeah, I mean that would help.
But with the drugs, her, doing this and slipping drugs on him, the parole hearing is, he won't have probably another parole hearing for a year.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a while.
But I feel like if the senator wants you out, you're gonna get out. Like, these people are corrupt.
But I think he keeps Wyatt. But if he wanted Wyatt to come out, he could have always pulled Wyatt out. I think he's smart, and he's like, I can still play this card. That way, if I keep Wyatt and I keep threatening Sophia with it, then she'll always do what I need her to do.
And do you think Wyatt will figure out that Sophia slipped it, or does that even matter?
I think he would know.
Yeah, she's the only person that he was with.
Unless you just got
they check
visitors
him
and
after.
visitors.
No, they check you. They were checking him after his visitor left.
After his conjugal
because they always
visit.
have to check,
his conjugal
after his
visitation.
conjugal visit. And that's when they found it. So obviously, who else could have slipped it? She was the only one in the room with him.
Okay, you guys know a little more about prison than I do.
Right, I'm like, dang.
I mean, sorry, I have some ratchet family friends.
I've watched a lot of films.
She is from Kentucky.
Said the girl from Ohio. It's cool.
And I just watched a lot of films.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, that needs to do some time up north.
Conjugal visitation is what it's called.
Is that real, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it really?
I thought you had to be married.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of creepy though.
I knew
Like,
that.
here, go in this room and have sex. I don't
Wait
know.
a minute. That
On the
does,
table.
Wait, that does bring a
Put a sheet down.
good point because Sophia and Wyatt, they're not married.
Or are they?
Oh, exactly. Are they? So, did they make that clear? Whether or not they're still married? And
They never really say.
Well,
She
do you
just- they
have to
always-
be married on your conjugal visit?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I don't
Okay.
think. But either way, she paid the guard. If you saw, that was the first thing they showed. He had that envelope in his hand before he let her in. So
They've
she
been paying
paid him
people
a
off,
stack.
yeah.
City over here.
So that's why he let her in, regardless of conjugal. legal
Maybe they are
conjugal
still
visits or not.
married.
They
There
could still be.
is.
That would be very
Something
interesting
going
That would
on.
be interesting.
to see. I thought there'd be more people at the anniversary party. Personally, it was like 10 people.
They don't need any more people in their lives.
They don't want people eating all their jumbo
Yeah, but
shrimp.
these are like big time. They're big timers. They're
Okay,
like
but
worth
they
like
also
billions
have
of
a lot of
dollars.
drama. They trying to cut down on the drama right now.
I just thought there would be way more people there.
I thought so too, and that,
Personally, they made such a big deal out of
Deception
it.
is on a budget. Okay, they ran out of money for extras.
But you know what? No. Speaking of budget, I really like the backdrops for yesterday's episodes.
Talking about you.
When they were,
You mean set design?
yeah, thank you. When-
I was like,
I thought you
I
said
know what you mean.
bag.
I was like,
As soon as I said it, I was like, okay, how am I gonna get myself out of this? But the the set design when Sophia and Haverstock were in the tunnel over by Central Park, you saw that nice view of downtown. And so I just thought that
When who was in the tunnel?
when Haverstock and Sophia were in the tunnel when they were talking.
Again,
They're
Central
on the
Park.
bridge.
The bridge.
The bridge. Yeah.
And-
it was Will and Mia.
No, Will and Joanna.
I mean, Will and Joanna who were in the tunnel earlier.
Yeah.
And that's when she was like, "Screw you," and he did that little whack kick.
Yeah.
Like the little girl. Man.
does anyone else notice that? Because I wouldn't have even noticed the background.
I noticed stuff like that because
He mentioned it.
Because he's Bam Erickson.
'cause I-
Bam
I-
Because he's
Erickson, y'all.
bam, bam, bam,
You
bam.
guys up.
But no, I do like that's one of my favorite things about this show is watching the background, the scenery of New York City. It gives a different
Yes.
element versus like the other shows. So
Yeah.
I really like that.
Well, they should invest in extras because I really think that they just ran out of extras. Like,
my
honestly,
gosh.
like there would have been more guests at the party had they had more extras, you know?
Yes.
I know the viewers want us to talk more about this last scene
Yes.
with Julian
Whoop, whoop.
coming in the room.
Hold on. Before you do that, though.
Before I do what?
Before you say that,
Okay.
her mom, Joanna's mother.
Oh my gosh,
the
I'm
biggest
tripping. I'm sorry, ladies and
piece
gentlemen.
of this.
The biggest piece of this was when the Gulfstream got sent out to pick
pick
up
Her mother.
Joanna's mom, played by none other than Essie Potham Murkison.
Yes.
She is one of the bombest actresses in all of Hollywood. She's amazing, and for her to play
What else is
Megan's
she in?
mom, she's been all.
Was she
all
Law and
kind of
Order?
stuff.
Law and Order. She was
I just
in
wanted
Lincoln.
you to tell the viewers.
She's won awards.
so-
She's won all kind of awards and everything.
Mm-hmm.
She's dope.
She played that role so like
yeah.
Yes.
I was just like, oh.
So that we have to get back to that That's Robert's investigation of Joanna's background and her history.
brings
Just
her
trying to
mom.
find out. He's like, oh, I get the mom to drop some dimes or whatever.
But Joanna was smart enough to tell her mom.
Joanna was
Yes.
dumb enough to be going off on a tangent, which is without Will knowing. This is how Robert found out that where the mama was at, so
True.
he can go get her.
But
Yeah.
still, like,
I'd be like, "What you doing, bring my mama here? I don't care if you know me since we were
She's
kids.
in an
I don't
assisted
been
living.
straight hood.
Well,
all the time.
luckily,
Bring my mama over here.
okay, that was weird too. Like, how can you just get somebody out of a nursing home?
When you have enough
it's-
money, honey, you can do
Yeah.
whatever you want to
Okay,
do.
that's fine.
But I think it's getting dirty and grimy. Like, you literally got this woman who has Alzheimer's. You know, like, that's not fair.
Okay,
You can't-
well-
there's something
Right,
you
and she
can't
was
do.
struggling.
And she was.
In
And
2 episodes, she's gonna slip up.
she's gonna slip up.
She has to keep the
She
She
drama.
almost
Yeah.
slipped up about the job thing.
And the man, and she was like, Joanna, he was a good boy. Joanna broke his heart.
Well, let's
And what boy was she talking about?
Joanna must have really been married
So
before.
can we discuss that scene, because I do feel like Joanna, there's a line that you cross. I don't care if I'm living with you, but if you do something to where it affects like my family, like Robert would have got cussed out.
Yeah.
You can't cuss somebody out that
No.
you need information from, babe.
No. You bring my mother without you telling me that. No, like that's you.
But he
I
did
thought I
it
would have
from
flown her in for the anniversary. I thought she would have loved it.
he did it from a sneaky good place.
Yeah,
So it's not like you can't be in somebody's house and work for them and cuss them out.
You sure can.
She's in a lot of conundrums right now, so she has to be careful. She has to watch her step.
But I think at that point she should have. She should have cussed him out and said, "You know what? Keep your job, keep your house, Mama. Let's go."
See, y'all have no clue.
Because it's gonna hit the fan. All the crap is gonna hit the fan because
Gonna hit the fan anyway.
But I'm saying she could have easily been like, "We gotta go," because my mom has Alzheimer's. She might slip up and say something.
She could have handled that better. Yes.
Yeah, she could. Not only could she handle it better, but even when before she spilled the drink on her lap to kind of cover, like the way that Robert was coming at her, like he clearly crossed the line, and I felt that she should have had more balls to say something, whether or not if she cussed him out.
Well, really quickly, not to cut you off, but they've known each other for a really, really long time. She used to work for that family as an adult, and they had established their own relationship. It's not like
he was a stranger.
It was like, it's totally not like that. So they know each other, and they've treated them like family, which is why they're so comfortable letting Joanna stay at the house, which is kind of like when the adults are doing their thing and they're family friends, you kind of like,
Yeah, I mean, she really couldn't say much because it's not
like to say so much.
Her mom was...
I'm with Bam on that. I'm sorry.
We win again.
No. Give me 45 more seconds. Okay, maybe she should not have cussed.
That's a lot of time.
Maybe she should not have cussed him out, but she should have said something, because even when the coffee was spilled on her lap, he's still digging, saying, "Well, I would love to hear more about this ex-husband." Like, who the hell just like that? It's out of pocket. Why do you want to hear about this?
I want to see more about this ex-husband that used to abuse
Are you freaking kidding me?
She should have just got out. I mean, of course, that would be the end of the show, and that wouldn't be any good. But at that point in real life, you're not going to let someone do that to your mother.
If you two were in a relationship and it went bad or whatever reasons, I'm not going to be like, okay, well, I want to hear about this ex. Like, who does that? Like, so I'm done now.
Okay, Joanna and Julian. Joanna and Julian. One word. Amber J. At the end.
Hot.
One word, Bam.
For Amber and Julian?
Yes, Amber and Julian.
Joanna and Julian. Joanna and Julian.
Thank you, Bam, for putting me on with my man.
Bam, go, one word.
So what, who cares?
One word? Is that a hashtag? Is one word? That's what makes a hashtag? Yeah. Okay, so who cares?
Their relation.
Okay,
it's
one
a
word.
sound.
Megan, one word.
Train wreck. I put him
My one word is trifling. Let's go to news and gossip real quick.
AfterBuzz
It is.
TV News.
So,
Okay, so
I am wondering if Deception's going to make it another season, and the reason why I say it might, but Tate Donovan might not be on it because he just got picked up and cast in CBS's Hostages. So you can't be on two different networks, right?
Yes, you can.
Oh, you can at the same, like a main character?
Yeah, because well, it was BET in USA, so maybe those are like sub cable networks. But you can definitely
say something would have been really.
But that's what I'm saying. They're both.
I think it's possible with he's a huge star. So if they want him, they will make it all work.
Let's get in a bidding war.
I don't know what's going to happen, and he might get killed off or something. I don't know.
Well, see, that's
so that he could be on CBS's Hostages.
Now, also speaking of Tate Donovan, he was on The Talk last week, and he and both Victor Garber were also in Argo as well, and so they have this little joke on the set because Tate Donovan is only 7 or 8 years older than Victor Garber, and so now he has to.
You mean Victor Garber's only 7 or 8 years older than?
Yes, thank you.
Tate Donovan.
And so there's this whole little joke. Thing because Tate kind of hates the fact that he has to call Victor Garber his dad.
It is kind of strange.
That's weird.
It's kind of like how Lawrence Fishburne and Cuba Gooding Jr. were in Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
But that's casting.
That also just goes to show how we said the casting was a little off because he's too old to be.
He doesn't look. I never got that feeling that he was too old to be their son.
I did.
He looks so much older than Julian.
He does, but he doesn't look like he's almost the same age as his dad, though.
But
right, that's just good genes.
Yeah, but too young. Too old to be his son.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
so do we have any information on how the show's doing in its time slot?
Yeah, the ratings are actually, they're like at a standstill. They like don't increase or decrease. They haven't
increased like a tenth, like barely.
Yeah, like barely. But they are starting to beat out other network shows. They're not stealing any of the network's viewers. Like that's what the Nielsen rating said.
But it's holding its own.
But it's holding its own, and it's been consistent. So, I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see after these last 2 episodes if it's going to get renewed for the next season.
Okay. Well, for Deception fans, hopefully it gets renewed for season 2, greenlit. Let's go to predictions for Season 1, Episode 10 of NBC's Deception.
AfterBuzz TV
Okay, so season 1, episode 10, NBC's Deception. Predictions.
Oh.
Make Scoop, go.
Okay, I will say that Joanna's mom is going to slip up and say some stuff, and Joanna's going to feel the wrath because of it.
I'm going to piggyback off of that and say
Amber
I
J, go.
completely agree with Megan. And I think that Joanna and Julian's relationship is going to explode. And I'm really excited to see that because I am gunning for them.
I have 3.
Of course you are.
I have 3 predictions.
Hater.
Will firing Joanna, I think he's just a wuss. And
He's in love.
he's in love, but obviously Joanna is not going to get fired. She'll be rehired. As far as Sophie and Haverstock, there's more information that I feel is going to come out with this whole thing between those two. So I'm curious to see how that's going to end up. And then with Robert and Beverly, how he's kind of blackmailing her, saying that you can go to jail. I don't think that, although Joanna's mom, Beverly, has Alzheimer, I don't think she's going to cave in. I think she has her daughter's back. So
Yeah.
I think whatever Robert's going to do, I think she's going to try to retaliate on something that maybe she knows or she remembers from back in the day. But she's not going to sell her daughter out.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, besides the whole, we know what's going on with Joanna and Julian, we saw for next week's previews that Joanna tells Will what's up, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I think that Julian is also going to tell Audrey, he's going to kick her to the curb. Audrey's going to get PO'd, and she's going to start a you-know-what storm that they didn't show in the previews. That's what I think is going to happen for next week. Audrey's going to become a factor and may get bumped off by the season's end. Audrey. Well, until next time, where can we find you guys?
You can find me on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, all Meg Scoop, like scoop of ice cream.
And you can find me on Twitter at I'm Amber J, Jaye.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Bam Erickson.
And you can find me on Twitter and IG at Club Thaddeus. You can find me here on Tuesdays, here 6 p.m. for Deception. CBS's Vegas with Bam Erickson at 11 p.m. Thursdays.
Pacific, 11 p.m. Pacific.
But Boston's Finest, TNT, at 6. And Sundays now, House of Cards, Netflix exclusive series at 6 p.m. Doing a lot of shows right now. So until next time, you guys.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.